Cool. All right, Frank, we're looking good. So, welcome everybody to the Canada Specialist Program webinar series supported by Air Canada and Destination Canada. Our first update today is with Frank from Rocky Mountaineer. Now, Frank is the newest member of the Rocky Mountaineer sales team. He's been in the industry for 30 years, has a love and a passion for train travel, right, Frank? So it's a pretty good job for you.
Yeah, it is. It's a very special opportunity, and I am one of those train enthusiasts that annoy people, but it's a big passion, and I think one of the compliments of how to see Canada, definitely.
Cool. So Frank, just let us all get to know you a little bit. Can you just tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you. I've been in the industry. This is my 30th year this year as my celebration, and I spent 10 of those years in the UK and Europe, and then 20 based out of Brisbane, looking after either the state or national roles. A bit of a train background. I've worked for a couple of train companies in Australia and overseas, and also worked with coach touring and small group traveling. We've sold Canada as well. So big passion. And as we come out of the COVID burst of the bubble, many roles popped up, and this one came up, and this was the one I'd always dreamt of. So it's an absolute pleasure and delight to represent Rocky Mountaineer as the Australian sales manager.
Nice one. Thank you. Now, a lot of our Canada specialist agents do know a lot about Rocky Mountaineer already. I'm sure we've got some real pros listening in today. But today we're not doing a product 101 session today, right? We've done that before. I have recordings of that if anybody does need it. Instead, Frank, we're going to be talking about 2024. But just as a little bit of a reminder, can you just talk about the routes that you operate, and also where do you learn more if Rocky is new to you?
Yeah, it's a really good point. Thank you. And it's funny, I come up with people that know more about Rocky than I do, and I'm doing my best to upskill, but I've got a good grasp. So we have our three traditional routes here, guys, and I know you're probably aware of them, where we can help with new clients and also repeat clients, and also clients that choose different seasons to go back to. So there are our three traditional routes with our green, blue, and maroon colors there. And please, for those that are new to the Canada and Rocky format, the green dots at the end are a coach transfer, so we can get them through to Calgary at the end. But for those that are new to us, please jump on our agent portal, register and do the tracks program. It's really informative. It's a wonderful, easy program to do. And from there, you can do sales sheet generators. We talk about our latest campaigns that we have. And that's actually where you can check live availability, hold inventory, and even actually make a booking direct with us. So very, very useful page for clients to visit.
Awesome. Thank you. So we know that, Canada and interest in heading back to Canada is increasing. When are we able to book for 2024?
Yeah, it's great. Well, we went live a few weeks ago, both with individual travel, FIT style travel, and small groups, as well as large group allocations. So we're available now to whole group allocations across all of our trains. And we've seen a really interesting spike in the last month where next year's program has really taken traction. And we're really actually starting to hit our straps with the forward sales for next year. So if people are looking at it, I'd be looking to secure air as quickly as you can and look at holding space on our trains, because we are fully live right now.
Awesome. That's always good to hear. And are there any changes for those who do know and aware of the product? What are the changes for 2024?
Well, COVID gave us a chance. There's some positives that came out of COVID, and it gave the company a chance to look at itself from the outside and look at the core principles of what we're doing. So we've decided that from the 2023 season, which we're currently in, to roll these three enhancements over, which is continuing the 7 package types, ranging from rail only through to the multi-day packages. Continue with the price gratuities being included. So there's no putting your hand in your pocket when you're on the train. There's no passing of the envelopes around at the end of the trip. I think that's very important with the standard of style that we use. And also continuing the transfers, and that includes rail only transfers from all of our partnered hotels and train stations where we need to both at the start and the end. So we've rolled that into next year, but then now we've enhanced next year where all package types except rail only will have 2 nights at the beginning and the end, because that's what clients told us. They all requested pre and post. And we are seeing, I'm sorry to say at airlines, we're seeing a little bit of air disruption. So to have that 2 nights at the front and the back of each trip is it's a more comfortable and a more secure way for the clients to enjoy themselves. Same with that going on. Almost all of our packages will start with at least a night in a city that has a major airport. So when you guys, when you're planning your clients' trips, we're very close to having every trip using that major airport system, which is great. I think you'll all clap this. I hope to see a few emojis. We're removing the naming convention of Roman numerals. I know the whole company clapped when we heard that. So what we'll have as a name basis will be the package name that include the destination name in it, rather than a Roman numeral of 1, 2, 3, or 4. And finally, we've implemented a hotel tiering system in Canada to provide better choice for clients and more inventory management to help with help getting people on board the trip they want.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so you mentioned the hotel tiering. We're going to just take a little bit of a deeper dive into that. And what does hotel tiering mean?
Yeah, well, what we've done is to work smarter with the hotels. I mentioned just before about increasing our offering to 2 nights at the start and the finish of the trips, which the hotels love. Hotels hate single night occupancy. So this has given us greater flexibility and more opportunity for inventory. So as you can see, guys, on the left in the silver categories there, we have tier 5 and tier 4. So a silver leaf client will purchase into tier 5 automatically. And in this example is the Banff Caribou Lodge. They'd get a standard room as part of that Silverleaf package. But if a client likes a little bit more creature comforts, a little bit of a larger room, a little bit more space around them, they can actually take themselves up to a tier 4 level. And that also transcends into our Gold Leaf offering. Here we're using the example of the wonderful Fairmont waterfront property in Vancouver. I can't believe we call it a standard room at a Fairmont, but tier 3, the entry level, it's not a standard room, guys. And that's our tier 3 for a Gold Leaf. And then if a client wants to then go up to a superior room, which would give them partial harbour views and a deluxe room, they can do so, or jump into tier 1. I call this Gold on Gold, Gold Leaf with a gold room in a premier room.
Nice.
It gives us greater inventory management if one sold out and one didn't, to be able to get clients on the exact dates that they needed, and gives clients choice. The number one question I get when I present that slide is, can you bounce between the two? Unfortunately, guys, you can't. If you're in Silverleaf, you're choosing tier 5 or tier 4, you can't jump up into the Gold Leaf categories. So yeah, really great move by the company to do that.
Yeah, well, just trying to simplify things, right? And to give flexibility, but in a simple way. So it looks good. Yeah. Thank you. Could you now just give us an example of a Rocky tour that includes everything? So your rail accommodation, you know, what does the itinerary, or an example of the itinerary look like? Because I know you've got really good.
Yeah, well, interesting. We do have the circle trip, which is go out on one train and back on another train, which I'm happy anyone can follow up with me and I'll talk to about that. But I chose this train trip because I think this is very popular in a way to combine Calgary at either the start or the end. So for those who are a little bit new to Rocky Mountaineer, please remember you can go east and west with us. You can go either way. But this is a trip where we have Vancouver. So for next year, 2 nights Vancouver, trained through to our waypoint of Kamloops, where we overnight, including transfers, trained through to Jasper to stay, explore that area, then down to either Banff or Lake Louise by a motor coach, and then motor coach through to Calgary. And for those that have a passion or a bucket list to see things like the Calgary Stampede, held in July each year, they can, because we now do the 2-night stay in Calgary, on their free day, they can actually explore Calgary or see the Stampede if they happen to be there at that time, and easy flights to get in and out of both Vancouver and also Calgary itself. Really great opportunities to move people and combine with maybe inside passage cruise, which is readily and easily connected with our product.
Yeah, and a really popular thing to do to combine them. And of course, you're giving Calgary a shout out because we have Lizzie next. But Frank, you're just going to finish with your current promotion. What have you got on at the moment?
Yeah, well, remember, guys, I talked about having the portal at your disposal. I will promise you, we don't spam you with emails. You don't get an email from us every single day, but we do talk very, very clearly about what we're doing with our promotions and how we can help clients. So at the moment, we have a promotion called Final Call. So we have some available stock. I can get the terms and conditions to you. I didn't want to put it up there today, so you've got War and Peace to read. But we've got a situation where we have some availability on our trains for this year if clients can select and get on some air to get across. And nearly $1,200 Australian off per couple on our Canadian routes. And that's an incredible saving.
Yeah.
So reach out to me, or it's on the portal for those that are familiar already with the terms and conditions, selected dates, and a great way to sort of save some money while getting an opportunity to tick off one of life's bucket list opportunities, in my opinion. So, yeah, thank you so much. I'd just like to finish with this, guys. Is if I'm never around, I travel a little bit, but please remember that email address there, sales@rockymountaineer.com, because we have staff in Australia and New Zealand. Staff in Australia and Canada, and so it's a 24/7 monitored site. So you can email that and you get quick responses for any sales questions that you need. But thank you so much for this opportunity.
Frank, thank you so much. You did mention New Zealand then. Do you have a rep in New Zealand for our Kiwi agents?
Not yet on the ground. My manager and I do look after New Zealand. So I'm here on an email basis, phone. I'm more than happy to do any form of Zoom or Teams training with New Zealand. So we don't leave out our brothers and sisters over there. So we are here. We're both based in Brisbane. So reach out to us. We do get across there for events. So if you did need us, potentially we could look at combining that. But I'm just a Zoom or a Teams meeting or a phone call or an email away from New Zealand to help out as well. Thanks for mentioning that.
That's all good. Thank you. Oh, well, that was fantastic. Great first update today.